Hello there, and welcome back. My name is Fotios.
And I'm Elena, and this is the Game Court. And today is Game Review Day.
And for today we have chosen for you Mini Express. Mini Express is a 1 to 5 player game published by Moaideas Game Design, and it's a game designed by
Mark Gerrits.
Griffiths.
Gerrits. Mark Gerrits.
Mark Gerrits then.
In Mini Express, you have two options: to build or to buy. To build truck or to buy shares. And this is how you win the game. This is all you do. Two actions.
And as you can imagine, it's a train game. And in this game you actually lay tracks.
Hey.
And you don't lay tracks by, laying some hex tiles as Age of Steam or something like that. How you lay tracks in this game is by placing wooden components, wooden locomotives, wooden cubes, basically, if you wish.
Wooden trains.
And this what is called a cube rail game, because you make rails by placing cubes. Do you know that?
Well, every day is a school day.
I know, right?
This game encompasses 4 different companies, and what you do with them, because nobody's there, just there, and you can buy shares so you can improve your points at the end. But the whole idea is that you can change your influence with these companies, so you can go up and down. Other players go on their trucks up and down, and it all, at the end, it all adds up. Multiplies.
So if you want to buy a share from a company, basically it costs you influence, whereas if you lay tracks and connect a new market, this gives you influence with a couple of companies, 1 influence each. And the companies are orange, white, brown, and grey. Thank you. Well, actually it's cotton. The white is cotton. The orange, I think, is leather, I want to say. Iron and wood. That's the 4 companies. Nobody owns, really, as Lena said. But you try to expand these companies across the map of US or Europe.
During one turn, which is fairly brief, I think that you cannot think very much of this, and there's only so many things that you can do. You can do 2 of the following things. One is buying a share, where you can buy a share from the company, and you can go down on your influence with that company as many trains as they do have in the same slot, because they all start with the same as maximum as 5. Or instead, you can just lay track with the trains that are available already for that company. And technically, the way you lay track is you just have to make sure that you can connect your point to a city. You cannot stop your track in the middle. You have to connect to a point. And that city will give you different benefits. All cities have 2 benefits, I think. Some of them are wild influences, and some where everything gives you influence of where you go, and it might be on a white or a wild and whatever, so on and so forth. It's just a combination of influence, isn't it? And one thing that you have to take into account as well when you play a company is that when you place a locomotive or train into a place that is not a city, so to connect them, that company will go up. Will improve?
Its position will improve, yes.
Position of the company will improve, sir.
Yeah. So you may expand the network of a particular company to improve its position, but then you may take influence of a different company depending on which city you're connecting, basically, right? And in a 3 to 5 player game, you only take 1 action in your turn, either buy shares or lay track. That's it.
That's it.
Whereas in a 2-player game, in the so-called expert mode for a 2-player game, you take 2 actions, and you can either buy share or lay track or both, or 2 of each, or whatever, but it has to be with different companies. You cannot do the 2 actions for the same company. That's what you cannot. I know, right?
Difficult.
Difficult, yeah. And there is also an automa mode that has some tiles and stuff like that, so you can play solo as well.
What does the automa do? Do they play by the same rules?
They do.
They do.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played the automa version. Yeah, I know, right? But it has some tiles that basically instruct how the automa reacts. And you can actually play you can simulate a 3-player game for 2 players using the automa, but we take 1 turn each. But we really like the expert mode in this game.
I want 2 actions. Listen, I don't want to go for 1. I want 2 actions. We played it in 3, but I want 2 actions. I like the 2 actions.
It plays very well for 2, I have to say, in that manner, because it is expert mode. It's very tight. Whenever you lay track, we have to make sure there are enough trains there so the other person cannot buy the share for free.
I know, you don't want to be leaving, and you don't want to be decreasing the trains too much either. It's like you leave 2 and somebody might be like, oh, I'll take a risk and I'll take that, and I'll take a share, and it's painful because how many stacks is it for two players?
I want to say
replenished.
One stack for 2 players.
One stack.
Two stacks for 3 or 5 players.
So you have to be careful because whenever one stack of the shares is gone, that's the game. Finito. End of discussion. So you have to be careful of not to leave too many, too little trains in there. It's a bit meh.
So the only thing that scores at the end of the game is basically for each company, the position of the company. Basically how big the position.
I feel better now.
The what?
Position.
How big the network of the company is. The position of the company
Position.
will award some points per share for the person with the most influence, for the person with the second most influence, and for the person with the least influence. So basically you want to have the most influence among all players, but also a lot of shares for that company. So this is the combination of these things.
Combination? Are you doing this on purpose?
So you write the position on the influence, and then that point multiplied by your shares. It's very easy to score, I think, I want to say. Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for me. It's probably easy for 99% of the people.
Yes.
Why?
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a great game in my opinion. I really like it. It's a train game. You lay track, right? And
you have trains.
And you have shares, you have trains as well, yes. There is not much happening. There's no asymmetry or stuff like that. There is some variability with regards to how the cities are laid out, what they demand, or not what they demand, what they give you as influence. There is some variability there, but not an extreme amount of variability, I would say.
I think overall this game is a very sound game and has a couple of mechanics that it implements, but it implements them very well. And I think it's a train game, but it's not heavy, your brain burns kind of situation. So if you want something that's slightly lighter, but it still has this economic feel and the pickup delivery kind of situation, I think this is the game for you. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and have played also in 5-player count, and it only takes an hour to play in 5. So it's very fast to play. It's express. Right, shall we do yes and nays?
Sure.
So the first yay from my side is that this is a very cool game, very cool economic game that plays in a very fast time, and it has aspects of economic games that we like stock holding, and it's also networking. So but also plays very well, very fast to play, and small rule set.
Yay. Smallish. I think it's a smallish, like a medium size, I would say, towards the lighter side economic game that does its thing very well. I think I like it because it's different than what we have, and sometimes I don't want to play a big economic game, and I think this is exactly what I would go for. We might play 2 of them or 3 of them, but it just doesn't burn your brain to that extent. Sometimes I want to, but I think this is a good choice.
And it also comes in a small footprint. That's another yay. The box is quite small, but if you open it, the map is quite big, right?
Right.
Yeah, the map is quite big, but the box is quite small, which I really like. And a final yay, I think the game comes with 2 maps, so not very variable, but there is an upgrade, an expansion that comes with another, I think, 4 maps. UK is there, and also I want to say Taiwan is there, and we cannot find the expansion. It's very hard to find. So if you're the publisher watching the video, please send us the expansion.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have many nays for this game, if any, to be honest with you.
I think one nay that I could probably mention, but it's not really a nay, it's just maybe a difference, is that it's not the heaviest game, but that's alright. For whatever reason, it really works and it's very engaging and interesting.
So one nay that I have is to have the Kickstarter edition of the game, and it comes with these printed trains.
Printed, yes.
Yes, and they look fantastic, but because they have this printed component, you can't really differentiate the colors between the different companies.
That's for sure. Although one is brown and one is grey.
Yeah, they look a bit similar. I think
the brown and the grey,
yes.
I'm like, whoa, because orange is orange and beige, whitish is that light. But the grey and the brown, I'm not colorblind and I have no issues with anything, but it's very hard to see. It's very hard to see.
I think an early development of the game was using cubes instead of rails, and I'm really inclined to buy some cubes for this game to actually have
that
the cubes.
That would be a pity though, because the trains are quite pretty.
They're very pretty, but that's my own complaint, which is a production really issue. Otherwise, the game is fantastic.
Issue.
Well,
that was it for today.
That was our review of Mini Express by...
Oh, you caught me. I don't remember.
Mark Gerrits.
Mark Gerrits.
By the way, Mark Gerrits has another game which is called Mini Rails, and Mini Rails is supposed to be published before this game, so this is the...
Predecessor.
Predecessor?
The other game is the predecessor.
Correct. That's it, yes.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks so much for watching.
And see you later.
Bye.